Trey Gowdy puts Obama administration on notice, expect subpoenas. Trey Gowdy has put the corrupt Obama administration on notice, warning them, "We're just getting started," and revealing that he's ready to unleash subpoenas if that is what it takes to get the truth and bring them to justice. Hours after President Trump tweeted that Susan Rice had refused an invitation to testify before a Senate subcommittee regarding wiretapping allegations, Gowdy assured the nation that she and other members of the Obama administration won't be getting off the hook that easily. Praise the Lord. Donald Trump's tweets. Susan Rice, the former national security advisor to President Obama, is refusing to testify before a Senate subcommittee next week. Allegations of unmasking Trump transition officials. Not good. Speaking to Fox News Thursday, Trey Gowdy said she rejected an invitation to testify to the Senate. There are other ways to invite people other than via a letter. There are things called subpoenas. You shouldn't have to use them with a former national security advisor, but if you do, you do. Susan Rice won't be able to bury her head in the sand and pretend nothing is wrong. She doesn't have a president like Obama and an attorney general like Loretta Lynch to protect her now. Rice is a very important witness. Members of Congress don't pick the witnesses. Lawyers don't pick witnesses. Facts pick witnesses. And whether Susan Rice likes it or not, she's a really important fact witness. Trey Gowdy also said she is going to get to the bottom of mainstream media conspiracy theories like the idea Russia hacked the U.S. election by grilling FBI Director James Comey behind closed doors today. He really is a foundational, seminal witness. So I'm going to start at the beginning. What is the evidence that Russia attempted to interfere with our 2016 democratic process? Is there any evidence to tie the Trump campaign to that? And if there is, you better tell us what it is. Then we'll get into the masking, unmasking, and dissemination of classified information. We won't get it all done today, but today we'll get started. Trey Gowdy also took the time to dismantle Hillary Clinton's recent claim that James Comey is to blame for her election loss. NSA's advisor Susan Rice helped Obama illegally unmask Trump team. I don't think he, Comey meaning, told Secretary Clinton to have her own server. I don't think he told her to give disingenuous answers to questions throughout the campaign. I don't think he told Anthony Weiner to communicate via text with underage girls. I don't see any of this in Jim Comey's fault. I reject the notion that Jim Comey is the reason we have President Trump. Secretary Clinton at some point ought to do a little self-reflection. No, really, I totally agree with this. I totally agree with this. Trey Gowdy on Susan Rice, James Comey, and Hillary Clinton. Let's take a listen.
Answer this way to questions on the Hill. That's not a question I can answer in this forum, Mr. Chairman, because it would call for a classified response. I have briefed leadership of the intelligence committees on that particular issue, but I can't talk about it here. To react to that, I have to give a classified answer, and I can't give it sitting here. I can't answer that here. That's not something I think I can comment on. So there you have it. What's your question today?
Well, I've got a bunch, and we're going to do it in a classified setting so we can ask all of them. Bill, he is a foundational witness that touches all tranches of Russia and masking and unmasking and the dissemination of classified information. He really is a foundational, seminal witness. So I'm going to start at the beginning. What is the evidence that Russia attempted to interfere with our 2016 democratic process? We're going to walk through that. Is there any evidence to tie the Trump campaign to that? And if there is, you need to tell us what it is. And then we're going to get into the masking and unmasking and the dissemination of classified information. We won't get it all done today. Make no mistake, he is a foundational, seminal witness, but today we'll get started.
2 hours ago, President Trump tweeted the following: Susan Rice, the former National Security Advisor to President Obama, is refusing to testify before a Senate subcommittee next week on allegations of unmasking Trump transition officials. Not good, he concludes. She has rejected the invitation to appear publicly on Monday. What do you make of her case, Susan Rice?
Well, there are a couple of things there. She rejected an invitation. There are other ways to invite people other than via letter. There are things called subpoenas. You shouldn't have to use them with a former National Security Advisor, but if you do, you do. Susan Rice is also a very important witness. It may be that she concluded that public setting would not enable her to answer the questions that the senators are going to have, which is why we're going behind closed doors today. That's where most of these interviews ought to take place, given the subject matter. But she's a really important witness, and I'll say this, Bill, members of Congress don't pick the witnesses, lawyers don't pick witnesses, the facts pick the witnesses. And whether Ambassador Rice likes it or not, she's a really important fact witness.
Well, Democrats would argue James Comey screwed up. Should have kept his mouth shut, not gone public in late October. Are they right?
I don't know what doors Director Comey saw. I can tell you this, he's not the reason. I don't think he told Secretary Clinton to have her own server. I don't think he told her to give disingenuous answers to questions throughout the campaign. I don't think he told Anthony Weiner to communicate via text with underage girls. So I don't see how any of this is Jim Comey's fault. He's got a really tough job. Someone was going to criticize him no matter what he did. He did what he thought was right. But I reject the notion that Jim Comey is the reason that we have President Trump. Secretary Clinton at some point ought to do a little self-reflection and go back and reflect on her own decisions, which led Director Comey to have to make the call he did.
Take you back to last July, Phoenix, Arizona, on the tarmac. James Comey brought it up yesterday. He answered it this way.
The capper was, I'm not picking on the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, who I like very much, but her meeting with President Clinton on that airplane was the capper for me.
How does that change now in light of where we are today on your investigation?
Well, it doesn't impact our investigation. We have a new Attorney General. Loretta Lynch is gone. The decision to meet with the spouse of the target of an ongoing criminal investigation, you know in your first year of law school not to do that. So Loretta Lynch is going to have to explain her thought process there. Director Comey says that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I have no reason to contradict it.
Do you think that was the original sin in all of this?
I don't know. I don't know what the original sin was. It was a very complicated fact pattern, exacerbated by the fact that we were in the throes of a presidential election. Director Comey felt the need to update Congress on his previous testimony, and he thought this was the way to do it. But again, Bill, who is responsible for the entire fact pattern up to that decision? It's not Jim Comey's fault that Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton, and it's not his fault that she had this curious email arrangement with herself.
That means in every answer you're given, the original sin comes back to Hillary Clinton's server. Because had she not set it up, we would not be where we are today. That's what you're saying.
I'm reluctant to use theological terms like original sin, but that decision to have her own unique email arrangement with herself and then keep it quiet for 2 years was a really bad decision.
Sir, thank you for your time. Trey Gowdy,
yes,
on the Hill is not over today. That's what you say, right? How much
That's
longer?
right. Well, we're just starting today. We've got perhaps 100 witnesses we need to talk to, and we're going to get through 2 of them today. We're going to do it the right way, and however long it takes to be able to tell your viewing audience what happened last year, that's how long it'll take.
Thank you for being here. Trey Gowdy,
yes, sir.
He goes behind closed.
Don't you love him? Don't you love him? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.